somebody say, if you would have invested in such and such stock 10 years ago, you would have this amount of money. The most famous one people use nowadays is Amazon. If you would have invested $1,000 in Amazon, you would have $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 just off that initial investment today. Well, that's because these type of stocks, such as Amazon, have exponential growth potential, meaning they have the potential to just explode through the roof, change the world. A lot of us can remember a world before Google, a world before Amazon, a world before Wi-Fi, for that matter. So why is this profit, why is this gain so substantial? Well, it's because this item or this commodity is called a growth stock, which basically it's a stock where it has a high risk and a high reward. It's a speculative, it's a speculation to whether, who knew Amazon would be what it was? Who knew Google would be where it is today? You know, who knew Apple would be, reaching the heights that it would? So these type of stocks are growth stocks to where you're really taking a chance on them, but if the chance pays off, it could be a very healthy reward. Think about Netflix. Remember when Netflix was battling with Blockbuster? Well, initially they wanted to be a part of Blockbuster, but Blockbuster rejected the idea that people wouldn't want to rent movies. Well, remember Netflix in its initial stages, they mailed you, a DVD, and you had to mail it back. Well, Blockbuster couldn't see the potential growth that Netflix could have, and they missed out on that opportunity. As a result, Blockbuster is no longer in business, and Netflix is the #1 streaming service in the world because they metamorphosis from the mailing the DVDs into just now the DVDs are built into your TV as long as you have Wi-Fi. Blockbuster couldn't see, they didn't have the vision to see how the internet would just change the whole retail game, would just change the movie game to where you can see everything you want in the comfort of your home. So anyway, let's get to the point. With growth stocks, these are different than dividends. Dividend stocks are stable, secure companies that are not really going anywhere. So they don't provide as much uptick or as much profit within the growth of the stock. However, they do provide you dividends every 3 months. Now with growth stocks, more than likely, they don't offer any dividends. However, they offset that with the opportunity to really get 200,000% returns. Now, of course, remember, this is all over time. Depending on how long the time frame could be, it could be 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. I think Amazon IPO'd in 1997, which would make it 23 years since it's been public. So let's break down the differences. Dividend stocks, AT&T, McDonald's, Walmart, they're not going anywhere. They're gonna be here forever. So just to keep them operating and functioning and to ensure that they'll be there forever, they share some of the profits with you with the dividend. Amazon, Google, it was not a guarantee that they would be here. It's not a guarantee that they'll be here 5 years from now, although the odds look like they're stacked in their favor. So they couldn't promise you a dividend at the time, and still really can't promise you a dividend because they don't have that long-term sustainability that a traditional blue chip stock like a Walmart or a McDonald's would, or a Disney. So what they can promise you is that we are going to skyrocket our profits. So the thing about growth stocks is you want to get into them early. You want to get into them where people aren't sure if this is going to work. People aren't really all bought in. It's kind of a chance that you're taking with growth stocks. However, the reward that you receive, it's astronomical. You know, I got a friend of mine that actually had money in Netflix when it was in the early days, like when they were mailing the DVDs. And he never took that money out, and he left it in Netflix. And I think the Netflix share price now is like $360, $70 a share. And when it IPO'd and it first came out, it was nowhere near that. It was less than $75, if I'm not mistaken. You know, go back and check that, research it, I might be wrong. So, anyway, my point is, if you're getting into a growth stock, know that you're taking a very big risk. However, you may be in store for a big reward. And there's not to say that you shouldn't do just dividends or just growth stocks. You know, a lot of people have their portfolio diversified and balanced to where if they're missing out on the growth stocks right now, then the dividends will sustain them. Another big growth stock right now is really hot, is the marijuana stocks. You know, no one knows the potential of this stock right now. A lot of people believe that it will grow. And that's the thing about being in the stock market. You have to know the company, research the industry, and have a gumption or a feeling that this industry will succeed. Remember, it's not all about where a stock is today. It's about where a stock is going. It's all about projecting the future. You know, it wasn't about Amazon being $7 a share in '97. It's about Amazon being nearly $2,000 a share today. You have to have a vision. You have to see that business go forward. The same thing with your business. You're not going to look at your business and call it a $700 a year business for 20 years. You know, why be in business? Eventually, you want to get into that 5-figure, 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure and above revenue and earnings pool. That's what you want your business to do. So that same belief that you have in your business, you have to have that into a growth stock. Now, back to the marijuana stocks. A lot of things are kind of hindering its growth right now, but a lot of people are still buying into it because they believe in the product, they believe in the service that it will provide, and they'll believe that the market that they have is sustainable. Will it last, and will it grow a lot? And the reason they believe that is because right now it's fully legal in Canada. It's not fully legal in the United States, meaning medicinally and recreationally. So all 50 states is not legalized, but a lot of people are investing in the marijuana right now, the marijuana stocks, because they are anticipating or have a vision that once the United States fully legalizes it, if they do, they're the biggest economy in the world. So they're comparing that to the alcohol industry, the tobacco industry, things of that nature. And those are multi-billion-dollar industries. So if you can get in the early stages of something like that, then just imagine the other side of what your return would be. So when you're investing in growth stocks, know that the money that you're putting up, it is not tomorrow money. It is not 2-year money. It's probably not 3-year money or 5. You know, it's the next big thing about the takeoff. If I told you 5 years before Apple released the iPad, and I told you, you need to get in with Apple, they're going to release this technology. It's going to be a tablet. It's going to change the way that we look at technology. You know, that would be your opportunity to buy in. Would you do it? Same as your business. If you told me this certain product or service you were going to introduce to the world that has never been thought of before, and you just need X amount of dollars to get you started, you know, you would be trying to be convincing to me for me to put my money in it because you knew what it would do in 5 years. You know, because you had that belief, you had the research in what you were doing, and you knew that it could exponentially grow. Now with growth stocks, usually it's only a few pops. It's gonna get to a point where it'll possibly plateau. That's why I say the earlier you're on the stock, the better. So do your research. Look around. What's the next big thing that you think is coming? Not what's here right now. And you could also look at things that exist and see what's the next big thing that's gonna build upon that. You know, we don't have tape players, CDs anymore. Somebody saw the DVD, and now we don't even have that anymore. Somebody saw the MP3 player, and somebody saw a company that was developing that and jumped on board and got into that. Think about a company like Tesla right now. It's a possibility in 20 years, none of us will be driving ourselves. There'll be self-driving autopilot vehicles. Well, people are getting in on Tesla right now because they're the most popular company and they're at the forefront of developing that technology. So you want to be ahead of the game when it comes to growth stocks. When it comes to dividends, you're just looking for something that's just going to sustain throughout the duration of time, basically. You know this company's not going anywhere, so you're going to stay dedicated to them and they're going to share some of their profits with you. You won't get out of this world profit-wise rich from the activity of the stock. However, you can get rich off the dividends, that being passive wealth. As far as the growth stocks, you know, your Googles, your Amazons, your Teslas, your Ubers, you know, when these things meet their potential, that's when your financial rewards will come through. So remember, just stay patient and jump on things early. Always be looking at how things can be improved, how things can be made better, what's missing here, you know, and that'll help you determine and discern what stock would be best for you or what industry would be good for you to look at, or even if it's a growth stock that exists. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please hit the like button and also subscribe to my YouTube page, The Idea Factory 251. Peace.
I can see the future, you about to witness history made. History made. History made. I can see the future, you about to witness history made.